Slax the Luna Petunia fan here. Today I'm going to be showing you the history of Cartoon Network. Our story starts with a fellow by the name of Ted Turner. In 1986, he got the rights to MGM, only to sell it back after just 75 days. But he did keep some archived tunes like Looney Tunes and Popeye. There were some catches with both of these examples, however. Turner pretty much snatched Popeye from Paramount, and he was only allowed to purchase Looney Tunes cartoons if they were older than 1950. 5 years later, Turner bought Hanna-Barbera, granting him an even larger pile of animation. And since he already had a knack in creating some TV networks, and he was now sitting on a giant pile of cartoons. So we decided to create a new channel, one that would play cartoons 24/7, 365. Enter Cartoon Network. It officially debuted on October 1st, 1992. Also in 1992, Betty Cohen became Cartoon Network's first president. Throughout 1992, Cartoon Network exclusively played the dozens of cartoons that Ted Turner bought. They made their first original series, The Moxie Show, in 1993. But a lot of the episodes are straight up lost. On top of that, it wasn't even fully produced by Cartoon Network, but this second show is. On April 15th, 1994, Cartoon Network's second original series, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, premiered. A talk show featuring Space Ghost, a character Hanna-Barbera created in the 60s. So now, Cartoon Network had two new original shows under its belt. They wanted a lot new originals after that. What a cartoon! It would showcase various cartoons to be turned into a full show. In 1996, since Dexter's Lab was the most popular short on What a Cartoon, it got made into a show first. It also helped put out Cartoon Network on the map, and it's often considered the first official Cartoon Network show. Meanwhile, the Cartoon Network was given a preschool block called Big Bag. Big Bag is actually a half-block, half-show made by the Children's Television Workshop. Now, more cartoons from What a Cartoons are starting to come. But for Cow and Chicken and I Am Weasel, they are both created by the same person and premiered the same day. Cartoon Network also decided to make an anime block called Toonami. Another pilot show just got turned into the cartoon. The Powerpuff Girls ended up becoming one of the most popular shows on Cartoon Network. Congratulations! This is everything that we have just from all of those What a Cartoon pilots, except for Ed, Edd, and Eddy. As a reward, a very unpopular show premiered the same day as this piece of nightmare fuel. But unfortunately, that made Cartoon Network a bit crowded. So they decided to give David shows the boot. Cartoon Network just made a new show about a sheep of all things. Unfortunately, that made it crowded again. So the old shows had to be aired on a separate channel called Boomerang, and it will be left completely untouched for the next decade and a half. In 2001, Jim Samples became new Cartoon Network president. He thinks adult shows would be perfect to show at night. And thus Adult Swim was born. And Space Ghost Coast to Coast immediately decides to go live there. And 3 new shows came. Another show no one talks about, Dexter's Lab's new baby brother, and this thing that is basically 2 shows in one. And in 2002, 2 new shows premiered. Never mind, a new show premiered. In 2003, they chopped Grim and Evil in half, causing it to become 2 separate shows. Cartoon Network in 2004 had a new logo and a lot of new shows. They decided to get this preschool block after another go. Enter Tickle You. Unfortunately, it was just canceled not even after 5 months. Next up, a new show called Sunday Pants. By the way, it was just perfect to cancel, not even 30 days later. And then came Ben 10. And then some new shows, like these ones. And then Cartoon Network decided to change their logo to the current one. Meanwhile, Adult Swim decided to start airing an hour earlier. During Cartoon Network's 20th anniversary, they made a block called Cartoon Planet. They played their classic shows. And 2 shows like these ones came. And after Boomerang was left so long, they decided to change their logo. And they made more reboots of some of their classic shows. And then Adult Swim snatched Samurai Jack so they can make another season. And after that, they decided to give their preschool block once again a go. This new block would be called Cartoonito, but this led to a problem. Now, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Cartoonito are all sharing one channel slot. Cartoonito got less and less hours of airtime, going from 8 hours a day to only 4 hours a day. Warner Bros. Discovery launched, but it decided to remove over 35 shows from HBO Max. And among them were some of the Cartoon Network shows, most notably Infinity Train. The end. 2016, Munchlax the Luna Petunia fan, all rights reserved. Munchlax, Cartoon Network, the history of Cartoon Network, and all its related titles and logos are trademarks of the Munchlax the Luna Petunia fan International channel.